Thanks so much for tuning in again. I am back with some Canadian Collegiate League. We are in the Swiss round 1, and we have a rescheduled match here. So, of course, the default day for Canadian Collegiate League is usually on Wednesdays, but if you get a reschedule in and you get it in time, I might have the opportunity to cast your match. So, thanks so much to Trent, Excalibur University, and Waterloo Warriors, the match that we're going to be showcasing tonight, for letting me know that they were getting a reschedule in, and thank you so much to them for letting me cast this match. I'm super excited for this. We are here in the Challengers division, so this is going to be one step above the Open division, but one below the Premier division. So these teams fighting to get a nice record so that they can try and move into that Premier division towards the end of the season. Once we get into those late seasons, that's when the bracket's going to open up and you have a chance to kind of punch up towards some of those top tier teams. But these two teams definitely going to be a fun one. Trent Excalibur is a newcomer to CCL, so they were not here last semester. Waterloo Warriors are a returning team, so excited to see them come back, and super excited to have more teams showing up in CCL. It's really awesome to see the Canadian Collegiate League expand here in the Overwatch teams. Now, we are going to just get everything in order here. Map bans, of course, coming in. Hero bans coming in. Let's take a look at these rosters to get started, though. Over on the side of Trent Excalibur, we have Deniska and Oscar, the DPS here, Max the tank, and then we have Trashstar, BB, and Scrammy loading up on those support heroes. Super excited for this one. It looks like, as I'm just looking in the lobby here, it looks like Max is actually going to be Hypothesis, and looks like Deniska is going to be Josiah. So if you hear me calling them different names, it's because I'm probably just going to be reading whatever is on the screen in front of me. Let's take a look over at the Waterloo Warriors. Like I said, returning team here. We have 11 Rook and Genos on those DPS roles, Destined MP the tank, Tim Dice and Dan Fan on those supports. Actually getting notice here that Oof is going to be in for Dan Fan, so we'll have Oof in for the support, and then we'll have Astro Darky in for 11 Rook. Actually might be the same person there, not too sure, but some different names in the lobby. But yeah, like I said, returning team, always fun to see the Waterloo team show up. So excited to get this ready here. Now, of course, CCL, the map pool, totally open. All of the maps are available if they're available in competitive play, but we have map bans. So the way that map ban number 1 works is that we do have a coin flip to determine who gets to pick the map. And the loser of the coin flip gets to decide what map to ban out. But it will be a control map to start things out here. And we already have our ban in. We already have our map pick in. It was Nepal banned out. Lijiang Tower, the selection here for map number 1. Surprise, surprise. We love to see some Lijiang Tower for sure. But we are also, of course, going to have hero bans. So hero bans are coming in. We are going to have the Vendetta ban and the Ramatra ban here. So I'm going to get that over on my little ban text here as we're just about ready to head into Lijiang Tower. Everybody's favorite map number 1 and Ramatra banned out. All right. Well, no delay. I think that we should get things started here. The teams are ready. We are ready. We've been promised that skins will be turned on for next map, so don't worry about it. We're gonna get the skins. Let's head in game here. Lijiang Tower, we are gonna be getting started out on Garden first here. So we are gonna have Trent Excalibur over on the blue team here. And we will have Waterloo Warriors starting out over on that red team.
5, 4.
All right, taking a look at the heroes being selected. The doors are opening, so this is what we're going to lock in on. It looks like Genos, the TP, potentially just out of spawn. Going to swap over onto the Echo here. A pretty strong dive composition for the side of Trent here, as we do have Hypothesis over on the Wrecking Ball. Goes for a hit, trying to split, does end up forcing the TP out of Tim Dice, but the Hero manages to live for now, at least. A little bit of poking and prodding, trying to get a read. Huge boop is gonna manage to take Oof off and gonna get Astro Darky. Talk about a way to start things off here for Trent University. Oh, the Wrecking Ball just having an absolute killer time here. Hotly top tower. All right, that's going to net you the first point cap here for the side of Trent. And it is also going to gain a Sombra onto this field. So Astro Darky going to swap over onto this. Now, you're going to essentially be looking to really go for the punishes here with this Sombra. You can try to go for kind of these dives with Destined MP, who is over on the Doomfist, but it might be a little bit hard to kind of try and coordinate that dive onto all these super mobile targets that Trent University is running. We do have some pressure on the point now from the side of Waterloo, trying to get that hack on Hypothesis, but it's just not quite going through. Josiah on this Sojourn, doing a lot of work, just kind of poking out Astro, and Hypothesis gonna finish the job off here. Already, Waterloo is down one here, and you lose Oof as well, and yeah, that is gonna signal the retreat here for the side of Waterloo. A good start here for Trent, building up to some pretty powerful ults. This overclock from Josiah can be massive here. The mines from Hypothesis as well, fantastic at just controlling any kind of a space. All right, it's a strong engagement in from Destin. Just trying to find some positioning here. Really wants to try and force some of these movement cooldowns out so the rest of the team kind of follow up on it, but he's kind of getting melted out here. Now the rest of Waterloo has at least rotated this white room. Looking for the punch. Just gonna find a TP. Here we go. It is gonna be the overclock on the point. Not really a lot of space for Josiah to work with, but I mean, he's making it happen. Finds that kill on Oof, and is gonna have at least a lot of chaos happening here for Hypothesis to follow up on. 3 kills on the board for the Wrecking Ball. We did see the Kitsune Rush come out from Tim Dice there on the point, trying to create something for Waterloo to work with, a counter to that overclock, but didn't quite find the value that they really needed. So now you have the copy already. Destined punching in, but very, very low, having a hard time keeping 2 shields up. Here is the beat in response to the Kitsune Rush. Really nice time, but oh yeah, there's mines all over the point. Waterloo don't have much of a chance to try and touch, but it's overtime. You have to get somebody on this point. Destin ends up falling here. The copy goes wide, and it is falling apart here from the side of Waterloo. They are going to have one last little touch here in the form of Tim Dice, but that is gonna be it. 100% to 0. Very strong start here for Trent Excalibur. The newcomers to CCL making a splash right away. Alright, this is interesting though, going over to Control Center for our next submap. This is of course going to be a little bit harder to kind of run these dive compositions that we were seeing, honestly, from both teams on Gardens. We are going to see Hypothesis swap over onto the Sigma. I'm interested to see if Waterloo is going to stick on this Doomfist. Now, it's nice that you have so many kind of enclosed areas on this Doomfist, or with this Doomfist for this point, because you're going to be able to just kind of punch people into the walls, but I mean, you're up against, you know, they don't know it yet, but Waterloo's up against a May and a Bastion and a Sigma, so Destin is definitely going to have his here. Nice punch in. Bastion turret form out here from Josiah. Kind of just sitting inside a disruptor field though, and there's the punch that comes in. Nice little powered up though. Does get traded out, so it's even numbers here then with Trash Darby taking out one. Now it's going to be a good advantage here as Trent actually still holding on to this white room positioning as well. Yes, point is going to unlock here. That is going to be the first flip going the way of Trent. Scrammy is a legend. This is gonna be easy. All right, a lot of pressure on Scrammy, the Lucio here for the side of Trent Excalibur. So far, so good. And a nice opening pick. Josiah, it does take out Genos. Oscar with a shot onto Tim Dice as well. Now, Trash Shark did end up getting taken down, but hey, that Kiriko's gonna be back into the fight fairly quick. What a May wall from Oscar! Oh my gosh, just absolutely splits off the retreat for the side of Waterloo. And now this is a great position to really be holding in if you're Trent. You have this May, you have so much poked in between the Sigma and the Cassidy. Again, a huge wall coming out from Oscar, and Destined to just sent back to the spawn once again. The tough thing about this Doomfist, right? You can get those, try to get those 1-for-1 trades, but it's really hard to kind of create consistent space for your team on this hero. So Astro Dark, hard time there. We do have a little bit of an angle coming out from Genos. Okay, we're gonna have the, well, oh, the punch out of the sky! What a shot from Destined! He's gonna end up saving his Kiriko. It is even numbers here as we do see Waterloo pushing towards the point now. gets a chance to really try and flip this over. No full tank, but Oscar has a blizzard. Go ahead and drop that on the point. The Suzu does come out. Yeah, and we are going to have the TP come out from Tim Dice as well. The point has not been flipped over yet, though, and Hypothesis is back on a Doomfist of his own. We do have the Kitsune rush coming out from Tim Dice. Right across the point, nice here for Waterloo to work with. Granny does manage to hit a 5-person beat. Falling very low, is going to be taken out by Astro here, and we did actually have a matching Kitsune rush come out as well. Trash Talkie, actually, they got it out a little bit later, so it is an advantage here for Trent, especially because Trent's still in control of this point. Astro doing what he can on this soldier. Really doesn't want to have to use this overclock. Is not going to need to commit it for this fight, but 97% is a fantastic percentage for Trent to have here. Waterloo, though, some big ultimates that you managed to hold on to. You have the beat, you are going to have this overclock. Geno's building up to the tectonic shock as well, and I love this positioning from Astro. You're able to get set up kind of on this high ground here. Honestly, if you're Waterloo, you really want to just try and get Trent to come onto the point that you can use this overclock, but no, we get a little bit too aggressive here. Destin ends up being punished for it, but Geno's no off the map! Maybe Scrimmy is the legend. That is going to be a shutdown there, but overclock has been pulled out here. Astro looking to pull this back, looking for the Kiriko. Will end up finding it, but now, oh, you're caught out no man's land here. The slide to get back is going to be just enough, and here we have Destin that has made his way back into the fight here. That Doomfist, you get picked first, but it's okay because you have so much mobility to get back into a fight quickly. You have this Meteor Strike ready to go. You managed to hold on to the beat as well. This is a good spot for Waterloo to be in. Oh, the punch! The environmental kills! I am so impressed with how the environmental kills have been happening this series, and we're only on map number 1. Destin getting aggressive here, knows that he can because he does have this Meteor Strike falling very low. Really tempting fate, I think, here. Wants another environmental kill, potentially. He's got a positioning for it. Oh, the timing just comes through for Destin. Very, very fortunate. Does have to use that ult to get all the way up, though. So now you just have to beat the rush coming online for Tim Dice as well. Nice little flank coming through here for Josiah and Granny. The Deadeye is ready to go. The shots connect onto Genos. It's actually a trade, though, as Oscar does end up falling. It's a very long flank coming through from Josiah. He's trying to catch everybody off guard, but it's an early fight happening at the choke point here for Waterloo. They are not concerned about this Cassie on the high ground. They are aware, though. You can see everybody kind of looking up at him, probably know that this Deadeye is available. Here's the Deadeye. The damage comes out. Gonna get slammed into a wall, though. All right, the beat out. Remove connects onto 5. Manages to take out Oscar on the way through, but Oscar did get that Blizzard out. However, there's actually only one alive on the point here. Hypothesis trying to keep things alive here on Control Center for the side of Trent. It's not going to be enough. We are having Waterloo fight back here, and they're going to tie us up 1-1 on Lijiang. And this is really interesting when we see kind of this difference, right? Of moving over from Garden over on to Control Center. It can really shake up a team's composition. Trent looked fantastic on this Wrecking Ball composition. So now that we are back over to a sub-map of Market where this is going to be a little bit more of an open space, you're going to have a better chance to play this ball. I think it's looking pretty good for Trent to get a good fight in here. Definitely felt like for the side of Waterloo, once you are in control of that point, you can push up, you can play with this Venture that they had Genos on, doing a great job holding those choke points. But we are going to have the swap over to the ball comp for Trent. Genos going to move over onto the Reaper here, so we haven't seen that out just yet. So the slide is going to manage to dodge the ball, at least for now. A lot of cooldowns forced out from Hypothesis early here. We can see Oscar on the Tracer trying to follow up on these hits the Wrecking Ball is coming in with. Do have everybody from the side of Waterloo pretty much just corralled on to the point now. Oh, it's another environmental kill. Hypothesis sent off the edge. No tank now is not good news for the side of Trent. The point has opened up. Percentage is going to start building for the side of Waterloo here. Oscar lurking behind the point. I'm not sure that Waterloo are aware. Well, now they are aware that there is a Tracer here. Honestly, just taking a bit of attention away, creating some space for the rest of his team to push in. Ooh, the Suzu just in time from Trash Star Baby. And that will actually be the follow-up onto Tim as well. Trades come through, though. That is usually going to favor the team that's already in control of the point, which is going to be Waterloo. Looks like Trent wants to push in, though, and Josiah making the space to let that happen. Nice pick onto Astro Darky means that that's a lot of pressure now off of the supports to the side of Trent. Not done yet. Gonna take Genos out of the mix. Take that Reaper. All that close range damage out the window. Point still in favor of Waterloo, though. We have a Susan that's been forced out. Tim Dice with the headshot. Gonna shut down Josiah. And you see that we're just trying to stall out the point now if you're Waterloo. A percentage, but now the numbers available. Another environmental kill as Oscar has actually moved over onto the Pharah, potentially his signature hero here. It is the one that we got to have in the roster graphic. Late kill, though, onto Trash Star Beatty, so there might be a chance, actually, for Waterloo to come back into this. You have some ults coming online, especially looking at this Meteor Strike. The Reaper TP in, very, very brazen. Doesn't end up catching that concussive blast from the Pharah, but it could have ended pretty poorly. Point still in control on the side of, Trent. Okay, the TP in time, but yeah, you just TP in to die again. And Waterloo are not cleaning this up maybe as quickly as they really wanted to. Overclock committed here from Josiah just to make sure that this fight is well and truly over. Oh, but that's the thing, you slide in and you don't have it to get out. Absolutely just punched into a wall here, and Destiny is hanging around, giving a little bit of time though, letting Waterloo get grouped up here. 5 ultimates ready to go for Waterloo, and Trent have 3 of their own ready to go. Oscar's gonna be able to get that barrage online very shortly as well. Looking for the environmental kill. It's all about the environmental kills here on Lijiang Tower. Not quite gonna find it though. Hypothesis has these mines ready to go. Doing great for just setting them up all over the point. Two-day rushes all over the point. A beats from both teams. A Death Blossom as well. Somehow managing to cut through that beat from Scrammy. But now you gotta deal with a bunch of mines on the point. Even numbers, but the point still in favor of Trent University here, and all the mines that is causing havoc here for the side of Waterloo. Having such a hard time cleaning up this wrecking ball. Finally, it is going to be a Hypothesis moving his way off the point, but you pick up a health pack and you go right back in here trying to take down Oop on this. Lucio is hitting a whole lot of shots here, but Oop somehow managing to live through all of that. The barrage now committed here. Overtime going to start triggering. This does mean that Waterloo, no, not able to get a foot on the point. And what a scrappy last fight. It felt like it just never ended, which of course is gonna favor Trent, Excalibur, who are in the lead that pretty much the entire time there for our last point of Lijiang. But hey, I think that this is a fantastic showing of what's to come here. So many environmental kills, a lot of back and forth. Maybe, maybe we're hanging out in fights a little bit too long if you're Waterloo, but so close to kind of taking back those fights time and time again. So I'm definitely very impressed with the showing from these two teams so far. Oh, okay. All right, let's reset. We're up 1 now for the side of Trent. Let's correct our scoreboard here. All right, close match though, taking a 2-1. It's you had to fight for Lijiang, which is good. This is good, right? We want to have a nice close series here. So no, this is sorry. I think that the teams are asking me a question, but it's just a statement. So I get to pass this along to you now. We are going to be having Waterloo deciding between if they're going to play a hybrid map or an escort map. So once they decide which type of map they want to take us to, then the pick is going to go back over to the side of Trent. They're going to get to ban out one hybrid or one escort map, depending on where we're going. And then we'll have the final map selection be on the side of Waterloo. So they will get that kind of little upper hand to try and swing things back in their favor. Does look like we have a decision. It is going to be hybrid. No surprise to me. I would expect we might get to see some King's Row. Lijiang King's Row, maybe? We're thinking about it. Either way, we are going to have the hero bans coming out as well. And that's going to be where things get kind of interesting, because we're not going to be able to ban out the same heroes that were banned out last time. So we had, I believe... Oh, no, it's too late. The chat is too far gone. I believe that it was the side of Trent that banned out the Vendetta, and then Waterloo banned out the Ramatra. So that does mean that if Waterloo don't ban out Vendetta, that she could be played here. I feel like we could definitely see some Vendetta on Hybrid, really on any kind of map where you can play some Zarya, you can play some Vendetta. Apparently Vendetta Sigma, maybe working. It is really interesting to see the Tracer making an appearance as well. Oscar did fantastic on her. I think that we haven't been seeing a whole lot more Tracer in the meta ever since we kind of moved over into this Vendetta kind of a state. And you always have the supports that are able to kind of like just like live forever, put up a bit of a fight against Tracer. But Hybrid is going to be one of those map types where you are going to have some angles to hold. I already have King's Row in my head. Nobody has locked it in yet. Okay. Ooh, this is spicy. Actually, the map ban is going to be King's Row. So we are not going to King's Row. We are decisively not going to King's Row. Interesting from the side of Trent University, but I like it. All right, that means that we are going to be shaking things up. We're going to go to a different hybrid map for map number 2. And we've locked it in. It is going to be Blizzard World. So this is a fun one. Lots more high ground to control compared to King's Row. Even Lijiang Tower as well, especially on this first and second point, is where we see all that high ground to control. So much more of an opportunity to kind of move towards a dive composition. Which we did kind of see from both of these teams, right? We had kind of the Wrecking Ball dive versus the Doomfist dive. Doomfist maybe a little bit tougher here on Blizzard World because of how wide the map is. We saw the value come through on Control Center Lijiang Tower, because there's so many walls for you to punch people into as Doomfist. But as we get into Blizzard World, where, okay, you have some high ground, so it's nice to be able to have that vertical mobility that Doomfist can give you. You don't have those walls where you can get that kind of extra damage that comes through from slamming someone into it. So definitely still possible to run the Doomfist. Do think that there's going to have to be a little bit of an adjustment in kind of the follow-up that comes through for the side of Waterloo, where they were running this kind of like Sojourn. We saw the Reaper on the last map. And I believe, oh yeah, we had the Venture in Control Center and then the Echo. So it's hard when you're not running a hero, a flex DPS that can really like confirm the kills from the side of Waterloo, right? You punch in with the Doomfist, you would like to have like a Tracer or a Genji or even the Sombra, which we did see briefly, to kind of follow up on that damage. As we are going to have the bans coming through, so for the side of Waterloo, it is going to be a Kiriko ban. So that does mean, of course, that Trent cannot ban out a support. Needs to go for either a tank or a DPS here. And they are actually going to go ahead and ban out the Doomfist. So, okay. I mean, I was here saying like, oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to run the Doomfist, but we are really not going to be able to run the Doomfist now. So let me update these bans real quick, and then we will get ready to head into our map. We're just making sure if everybody's ready. Yeah, so a reminder, Blizzard World, no Kiriko, no Doomfist. Alright, and let's head on into things. It is going to be Trent starting out on the defense here. Let's see what they opt to run. We've seen a decent amount of different compositions so far come out from Trent, for just being one map in. So hypothesis showing that, he could play the Sigma, we could have the, well, no Doomfist, but the Wrecking Ball potentially. Do wonder if he has a Winston or a Diva in the pool as well. Could be really nice on Blizzard World, but the Wrecking Ball. See if they stick with it. Haven't quite walked out of the spawn just yet, but we do at least have our backline that is committed. It is going to be the Ana Wuyong backline. Yeah, hypothesis. Wrecking Ball, it is. Ah, skins. We've promised skins, were we not? Yes, we were. Next map, potentially, we get the skins in the game. Alright, so Trent are still going to be on this Wrecking Ball. Yeah, the Sojourn Tracer as well. Defense here. Fun. Ooh, okay. Cooking something up over here. Not gonna be the Valka though. Waterloo are gonna move over onto this hazard composition. Okay, Astro on the Widow as well, looking for the shot. Actually did have 3 members from the side of Trent up on that high ground, but not quite connecting with one of those heads. Sticking on this Widowmaker as well. Oftentimes we just see this kind of be the, you know, the one shot out, then you go back to the spawn. So you're gonna have to be real careful because, yeah, Hypothesis is looking for this Widowmaker for sure. A lot of space being created here for Destined, but ooh, you lose Tim Dice here. Yeah, you're down 1 support, and that just means you absolutely cannot push any further than this. Genos is gonna end up getting taken down. Both the DPS now gone for the side of Waterloo. Destined is just kind of hanging around here. Yeah, Hypothesis gonna clean that one up as well. Ooh, Sleep Dart! I think it was going for the Wrecking Ball. Does end up connecting onto the Tracer. Got a nice big body block here in the form of this Wrecking Ball. Alright, here's some swaps coming out for Waterloo now. It is going to be off of the Widow and on to the Freya here for Astro. And Destined actually moving over onto the D.Va. I like this for him. There's a lot of damage that can be eaten up from the side of Trent here. And really nice heal potential as well. Big slam here from Hypothesis. Does end up getting slapped. Does end up getting antied. And that is all she wrote us. It is going to be first blood for this fight going the way of Waterloo. Are they going to be able to push up and take some space here? There's a lot of pressure on support from the backline courtesy of Oscar. Destined looking for the kill. Is going to have Genos there to back him up. Does connect on to 2 here. Destined is very, very low, but is going to be able to win through that. Now, 1 tick on the board here for the side of Waterloo on their attack. It's all forced out from Oscar. Doesn't nearly have this pulse bomb ready to go. 2 ticks on the board now as we do see Trent trying to come back into this. Oh, nice little combo there. That's exactly what you want to see from your Wrecking Ball and your Tracer. 1-2 hit, and that is already 2 down here. And everybody from the rest of Waterloo so low. Excellent patience here from the side of Trent to come back into this. 2 ticks given away, but you managed to come back strong. A pulse bomb in celebration here. Now, because of the swaps that came through for the side of Waterloo, they are lagging behind a little bit in this ult economy. But you do have the Nano and the Tidal Blast coming online. 4 ultimates pretty much ready to go for the side of Trent, though. And Trent so far has been pretty good about going first in these fights, so I'm anticipating that we're going to see either a Nano come out or the Mines come out once we get onto the point. Anti-Name connects on to Destined. Oh, the tank falling very low. Nice little Nano, though, is going to give him a little bit of extra HP. He's still so very low, 11 HP and a dream. He's going to end up getting taken out there. You see the Tidal Blast over onto Goof, essentially just, I think, to keep the Ana alive. Genos, though, has been doing work on this Vendetta. Needs a little bit of a top-up here. Only 1 tick needed here for the side of Waterloo to claim this point and start moving the payload forward. Hypothesis very, very low. Oscar has had that recall forced out as well, so kind of a little tricky here for the side of Trent. Oh, they want to come back into it, but oh, there's just not enough percentage to work with, despite a nice overclock coming through from the side of Josiah. No feet on the point does mean you're going to have Trent come through. Waterloo come through with the cap. Try moving this payload forward. You committed both the support ults there, but you still have both these DPS ultimates, and you have this D.Va bomb. Tim Dice has moved over onto the Brigitte as well. Hypothesis thinks that he's sneaky, hanging up on the high ground. Mines out on the point. Does actually catch out Astro as well, and doing a whole lot of damage to the mech for the side of Destined as well. As that could be a bit of a disengage here. Ooh, Tim Dice getting split off. And it's going to get picked apart. That's the thing about this Wrecking Ball comp. If you can kind of isolate targets, so far, Hypothesis and Oscar have done a fantastic job capitalizing on those. The bomb in! Oh, and it connects onto 2. It's a big opening for the side of Waterloo. Nano out on to Hypothesis. Wrecking Ball going for the slam. Ooh, doesn't actually connect, a little bit too high to hit Astro's head there. In the sidelines, though, there's a pulse bomb that came through. Ooh, Oscar actually does end up paying for it. Not gonna be able to stay alive to see the benefits of that. A sleep dart. Oh, ooh, just the parting gift for the Hammond. And now some progress being made here on this payload. We can see that it is going to be Waterloo getting themselves set up on the high ground as well. Still both these DPS ultimates to work with. I actually haven't used them in a couple of fights here, so this is definitely a big opening for Waterloo. We do have Hypothesis swapping over on to the D.Va. Oh, the sleep dart! Trash star, baby! And then the anti-nade to follow up. 2 hit with that. Nobody actually dies from it though, somehow. Geno stays alive through that, and now it's Ebola in response here. Does a whole lot of damage to Scranny. Does end up dying for it, but the Nano comes out, so all the damage now on the back of Genos here on this Vendetta. Payload very, very close to being capped up here. And with the D-Mech onto the Diva, that should be Waterloo picking up second point. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock here for them. Good day, Overwatch Nation Container King. Welcome. Welcome to some NA, some Canadian Collegiate League. All right, Waterloo barreling into third point with more than 2 minutes on the clock and a rally to work with. Oscar has swapped over on to the venture now. It'd be nice here for this third point, a little bit more enclosed. Here to maybe find this damage that he's looking for, but ends up getting punished here. That Vendetta so good at chasing down targets. They're low. Oh, just look at the range on that sword. Yeah, Trent just must get a chance here. It is the title blast over on to the Diva. Does get one knockdown, but Tim Dice actually with the rally is going to protect our hindered ally there. Messiah pulled out the overclock, but didn't have any space to work with here, and now the payload's still moving forward. Hypothesis trying to find his way out. Has the Diva bomb ready to go. Nice pile drive there, or pop-up there from the Venture. It's an even fight here, but no supports on the side of Waterloo. Massive here for Trent. You just need to stay alive long enough. The Diva bomb comes out from Destined. Oh no! The squish kill just as Geno's D-Max Hypothesis is a D-Max straight into a squish. Pull the connect on to Scrammy and just Oscar on the point, and a big giant thundering blade from Geno says 1 minute and 4 seconds. It is going to be a full cap here for Waterloo on their attack, Blizzard World. All right, I mean, this is a hybrid map, of course, so having that 1 minute plus time bank feels pretty good. You know, not finishing with with overtime. It's big. It's big here, honestly, for Waterloo. To see what we can get done on the attack now for the side of Trent Excalibur. I do feel like this is kind of an attacking team. I think that the synergy between the DPS and the tank really can shine a little bit more when you're on the attack. Depending, of course, on what they are going to play. Ooh, okay. Wow. Hypothesis just really showing us every hero that he could possibly pull out. As we might get to see the Zarya here. On the side of Trent, of course, they are still on the attack, still some time. And okay, I mean, we have seen more tanks in these two maps than I have seen in a long time of casting Overwatch recently. Destined is on the Reinhardt here. Interesting. I don't know. I might be able to make it work. The Reinhardt, the Ana break backline as well. So we'll have to see. We'll see what Waterloo is cooking up here. I'm excited to see some Reinhardt gameplay. I do think that you're going to have to be very careful. Considering the supports that you have. You know, you don't have any speed to kind of navigate around here. And we are going to have the back Lucio backline for the side of Trent here. So they got speed to work with, burst heals to work with. Oscar on the Vendetta means they got damage to work with as well. We can see that the Trent is just staging right now, looking to get in, have this bubble go over onto Oscar. It's gonna be a slice in, doesn't quite find the kill, but does end up doing a whole lot of damage to Genos. But Scrammy, oh no, the pin coming in from Destined. Trains coming through either side, but it is looking pretty darn good here for the side of Trent. At least get some percentage on this point. Now, I believe that they lost their supports. Yeah, there are no supports on the point here for the side of Trent. But that is going to be one tick on the board. Pin in from Destined here. Waterloo want to try and fight this. Space has been created, but just kind of left out to dry there. The Ana not going to be protected. That is going to be one kill for the side of Waterloo, but it is a whole lot of bodies on the point for the side of Trent, and they will be able to cap this up. Great time bank here for Trent on their first push in 5 minutes plus. themselves set up on this high ground as well. Astro Darky, oh, in spawn, but does have the Bola shot ready to go. A lot of resources have to be put into this Reinhardt, just to try and keep him alive. Josiah, the closest ultimate on the board for the side of Trent. It is this overclock that's going to be coming online. Really want to try and get an angle here. Yeah, you can see that he's also in charge of the cart, so it's the heavy duty here for Josiah on this Sojourn. Bola shot in. After Darky connects onto a lamp, does a good chunk of damage, but follow-up's not quite there. Okay, as I say that, Hypothesis does get taken down. Oof is gone though, so he's just relying on Tin Dice on this Wudong now to try and keep everybody alive for the side of Waterloo. A little bit of a late kill onto Josiah. That is a team kill coming through here for the side of Waterloo. Oh, a sneaky Reinhardt. Almost have... not quite that sneaky. All right, guys. Little bloodthirsty wants to take out the vendetta, but Oscar's got a bubble to keep him well and is truly alive. A lot of pins coming in here. Another one comes in. Thundering Blade to start things out. Excellently timed bubble here. It is the Shatter that actually came through and did knock two members of the side of Trent down to the ground. And the follow-up was there between the Tidal Blast. Another Thundering Blade on the field, this time from the side of Waterloo. Nano to boot. That's a whole lot of damage. Not a whole lot that Trent Excalibur is going to be able to do against that, except for regroup, get back in the spawn, prepare for the next fight here. We have the beat and the Sundering Blade committed from the side of Trent, but you are holding on to some big ultimates here. This overclock from Josiah. The Graviton Surge coming online as well. If you could try and burn down this shield a little bit here for Destiny, you'll be able to do a lot of damage, especially with this Vendetta, honestly. You can just slice through everything. You don't even need to combo anything with Grav anymore to get really high value. Nice anti-nade in from Oof. Connect on to two. The lamp is not quite there. Oh, Trash Star Baby so close. Not able to finish it up. It was a good grab, but yeah, you just do not have the follow-up needed. Now it feels like Waterloo. Another team kill coming through. They have got the second point on lockdown. Gotta watch that Freya. I agree. Oh, sorry, Astro Dragon. This is the second time I go back. Got him. He's in spawn. Oscar starting off a kill with Destiny, who was pushed up a little bit too far there when he's down one. Not able to hold as much space, and it is going to be a pretty strong engage from the side. Well, I was going to say Waterloo, but they're coming back into it with this Bola shot. Doesn't connect onto the thing. Does force out the lamp here, and okay, some follow-up coming through. A little bit back and forth. Waterloo have got themselves set up on this high ground. Have to touch this payload at some point, though. Oh, Tim Tice nearly had that Tidal Blast ready to go. Has been taken out of things just a little bit early there. And now Destin in a little bit of a tricky spot, but Oof in a worse spot. Oh, okay, the peels are there to keep the Ana alive, but not the Reinhardt. Unfortunately for Destin, is going to be sent back to that spawn. The main source of HP for the side of Western is now gone. You have both support ultimates to work with here. It's just a matter of trying to find who it's going to go over onto. Maybe onto Genos. Yeah, it is going to be the Tidal Blast out, but yeah, the high mobility coming through. Travis Star Baby does end up getting stunned up. Actually, that's really unlucky for them. They just come onto that high ground. Overclock out from the side here. Josiah trying to lock this in for the side of Trent, and it will be just enough here. It is going to be the payload capturing that checkpoint. Team kill coming through this time for the side of Trent University.
Hi there.
All right, we're gonna get themselves set up on the high ground here on the third point. No swaps for either team, so we're rolling through here. This is where Destin might have a bit of an easier time on this Reinhardt. We got the Nano ready to go from Oof as well. I expect him to either see that go over onto Destin or maybe onto Genos as well. Onto that Vendetta, who does have the Sundering Blade ready to go.
Team, stop the payload.
The beat from Scrammy is not going to be enough to save you from the Sundering Blade. That will actually cut right through. All right, it's a pin in from Destin. It's going to be the Nano over on to Genos, looking for something. Actually has that the Ana perk as well, so it's a bit of extra speed here for this Vendetta, but Josiah's got all the moves in the world, slide after slide here, and well, now it's going to be kind of a fight over on the front lines. Oops! Hypothesis just walked past everybody on the side of Waterloo to come find this Ana, and I mean, it seems to have worked because now there's no supports here for the side of Waterloo. You know, looking to take on this Zarya. Not a fear in the world, despite all this beam and a charge that Hypothesis has. Yeah, that is going to be the Zarya winning out that fight. Oh, grab goes a little bit wide. Shadow does connect onto two, but the follow-up is not there. Right now, both teams are so split. Speed comes through from Scrammy. It does manage to connect onto 3 members, but Hypothesis is not alive in this fight, so you're not going to be able to push forward if you're Trent. This is a lot of time now gone. If Trent are able to finish out this third point, they are not going to have as much time as Waterloo did. Thundering Blade ready to go. Genos coming around the corner. Looking for it. Finds Josiah. Oscar, who does end up getting knocked down. Still alive, though, as the trades have come through. But the numbers are now favoring the side of Waterloo. Ooh, nice headshot there from Astro as well. Gonna shut down Oscar. And now 40 seconds on the clock here. There is time for one more clean fight for the side of Trent. Have this amplification matrix ready to go. Gonna be able to build up to this overclock for Josiah as well. You just need a little bit of time, but I mean, Waterloo does not want to give you that time. All right, it is gonna be the window out. Nice angle here. A whole lot of damage being done to the shield from Destined. Oh, stray fire strike connects on to Trash Star Baby. They're sent back to the spawn. 13 seconds here. It is going to be Genos with this Tidal Blast. Once again, connects on to Scrammy. The damage follow-up is there as well, and now it is just gonna be Hypothesis on the point, going for a ride. Destined shoving them into a wall. That is it. It is Waterloo tying us up 1-1 here. They knew what they were doing, picking this hybrid map, pulling out the Reinhardt.
Of the game.
You don't expect to see it usually, but I'm impressed. Yeah, they made it work. Really good stuff here from Waterloo to tie us up. Now this is a series. Very excited. Alrighty. Wow. 1-1. A reminder as well, this is a first to 3. So it's a best of 5. So we're all tied up here. You know, it's basically just like we're starting over. You just don't even worry about the first 2 maps. Lock in for the third map. The third map does have to be a push map. So I believe we still have bans for push though, since there are 4. So we are going to have the Trent Excalibur is going to be able to ban out a push map. No, I have this wrong. Push map, then ban, and then Trent Excalibur gets to pick which push map we're going to. There we go. We've locked it in. Yeah, all right. I mean, this is a good point. Some in the lobby chat here talking about how broken Vendetta is, and definitely why we probably saw the Vendetta ban come out in map number 1. Yeah, Waterloo's not really opting, or they're opting to play this Vendetta plus Freya comp, which I think is like really, really high damage, especially Astro Darky is able to kind of hit those shots. Genos is not only creating space with the Vendetta, but also just doing so much damage that it's a pretty powerful kind of 1-2 combo that's coming through from this Waterloo team. On the side of Trent, you're running Oscar on that Vendetta, Josiah over on the Sojourn, which still, of course, Sojourn, very, very powerful, but you need that little bit of time to kind of build up your railgun. So this Vendetta Freya composition just seems like Waterloo are able to play a little bit faster in that composition, and that has really been kind of working out for them. So I'm pretty darn impressed so far from both of these teams. And heading into push now, this is where things are, you know, going for the reset here. But if we're thinking about map types, push is going to play more similar to the way a control map does than the way a hybrid map does. So Lijiang was very, very close, right? It was a lot of back and forth. And now we're going to have Vendetta back in the mix here. Vendetta was banned out on Lijiang Tower. So I do wonder if we are going to get kind of a Vendetta mirror once again on push, or if we are going to have the ban come through, because I believe Waterloo does still have the Vendetta ban available to them. So if they really want to, they could do that. But I think that Genos has been having a pretty good time on this Vendetta, so I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of stick with it. think what I'm really wondering is what tanks we're gonna end up on, because it has been so much fun to watch these two teams kind of go just from tank to tank to tank. I think that for push maps might have see it kind of depends on if we get an Esperanza, if we get like a Coliseo. Okay, well ban has come through, so it's not gonna be Coliseo. But if we have one of these maps that have a little bit more high ground control, that's where we see more of kind of the dives come through. So Wrecking Ball on Coliseo, definitely very possible. The Diva also pretty good on Coliseo. If we move over, or sorry, Esperanza. I'm reading Coliseo in the chat, sorry. But if we go over to a map like Runasapi, where there's not as much high ground to kind of control, you still can play the ball, but I think that that's where the long range sightlines are really, really going to come into effect. And I think that this Freya composition is going to have a little bit better of a time on that compared to the Sojourn. All right, well, we do know where we're going for map number 3. Drum roll as I find it in my list of maps so we get the pretty graphic. It's gonna be Runasapi. I love Runasapi. Honestly, a favorite push map. And you know what? Runasapi might have been one of the first like new maps that came out where I loved it right away. There was no like lukewarm stage with Runasapi of me being like, I just need to figure it out. No, it's like love at first sight. Love the sight lines. I love how picturesque Runasapi is. I think that the angles that you can control are super fun. You have that kind of coast area where you can really just kind of set up whether it's going to be a Tracer or one of your long-range DPS, or maybe your Kiriko that is hitting headshots. I've seen some headshots coming out of Tim Dice for sure. And then just kind of the pathing of it as well. I like that there's a little bit of high ground kind of near both of the checkpoints for either side. It's just enough that you can maybe try and swing things around. Lemony goodness. Thank you. I love being able to cast Overwatch, especially here for the Canadian Collegiate League. I am so super excited that I've been kind of welcomed in as a co-streamer. So if you are a part of CCL, if your university is a part of it, and you reschedule a match, please make sure that you post it in the reschedule channel so that I can try and get as many of these matches in. I really, really want to be able to kind of highlight all of the talent that we have here in Canada. Especially at the collegiate level. Yeah, CCL, if you don't know, it has the largest amount of Overwatch teams that it has had so far. So if your university is thinking about maybe participating in a Canadian-run collegiate league, we don't have any space this semester as the season has already started, but keep it in mind for next year, next school semester, because so far we are up to, I believe it's 23 teams that are signed up to play Overwatch. So super exciting, and you can be a part of it if you go to a Canadian university or college. Yeah, check them out, !CCL. You can get all of the information there. Join their Discord. Oh, all right. While I was yapping away, bans were coming through. All right, so we do have the Freya being banned out. Just as smart. This is very smart from Trent. This is exactly what I was thinking, that we were going to end up with Freya on the side of Waterloo. So I guess Trent was also thinking that. Freya has been banned out. Lucio banned out for the side of Waterloo here. So looking for some more poke kind of a damage, I guess. If you're not going to be running this Lucio. Oh, okay. I thought that we went back to the lobby because skins weren't on, but it turns out it was the wrong it was the wrong heroes that had been banned out. So once again, I remind everybody, heroes that have been banned, it is the Freya and it is the Lucio. So let's get into things and see what are our teams going to run now that they do not have the Lucio and the Freya available. Yeah, like I was saying, I think that Waterloo probably gonna go for a more kind of poke style here. Taking the Lucio out of the mix, it disrupts the rush composition pretty much entirely. You can try to sub in a Juno. It's really hard to get that same kind of impact from the speed ring that you can from the amp heals of the Lucio. And if you don't have the rush composition and things, that's where poke is going to have a little bit easier of a time here. But, ooh, Okay, interesting. The doors are still closed, so there is still a chance for some swaps to be happening here. Okay, I wasn't sure we were gonna see Astro Darky on the Mei. It just didn't really I wasn't really feeling the synergy between the Mei and the Vendetta and the Doomfist. This makes more sense. I quite like the Ana and the Wuyong pick as well. Oof is gonna have to be very, very careful though, because Wuyong definitely not gonna provide as much heal as you could get from, say, a Brigitte or even a Karako. Or even a Juno, really. So this is kind of a greedy composition that Waterloo are running out with here. On the side of Trent University, okay, pretty classic kind of dive comp. Back over onto the Kiri Wuyong comp in the backline as well. We haven't seen that in a hot minute, but I always really liked it. You know, some really high skill level supports. It's always fun to watch. Sleep Dart connects on a Hypothesis. Oop, hits anti-nade. And that is going to be numbers down here for the side of Trent. 2 up for, oh, and counting here for Waterloo. And Destin is going to get a little bonk on the head. Just both supports and a shot there from Astro onto Oscar. So team kill to start things off here for the side of Waterloo. They're going to get this spot moving forward a little bit. Some space being taken here for Destin. We are going to get some swaps over on the side of Trent. So Hypothesis over onto the Doomfist here. Another Doomfist mirror. And then Oscar over on to the Venture. A lot of burst damage potential in this hero. You can play them very, very similarly to that Vendetta. Not quite as aggressive though. You're not going to have that nice big sword to block a whole lot of the damage. But nonetheless, punch in. Connects on to Destin, but that is not who Hypothesis is really looking for. Ooh, the bot actually does pick up the checkpoint here to the side of Waterloo, but it is gonna be Trent coming out swinging. Gonna shut this down. Ooh, some trades actually coming through though. Tim Dice finding the better of Oscar, and yeah, Trastar Baby gonna toss himself off the map there. Go for the reset. Now, bot still pushing forward. The early lead is really, really growing here for the side of Waterloo. Not to mention that they also have the forward spawn here too, so that's really nice to have. Tidal Blast ready to go for Tim Dice. I expect to see that again go over onto Genos or go over on to Destin. Destin does have the Meteor Strike though, so your Doomfist can afford to get pretty aggressive here. You're still going to be able to kind of get out alive. You have some damage being done. But no follow-up here. The Tidal Blast did go over onto Genos, connects onto 2, finds that opening kill onto Josiah. Destin does pull out the Meteor Strike. Oh no, traps Trastar Baby in a corner there, sent back to the squad. And it just seems like Waterloo just absolutely cannot be stopped here. And that's the thing about these push maps is so much of a snowball. If you win fight after fight, you just keep this momentum going. Trent University, they have the tools in the kit to try and shut things down. Both these support ultimates. You do have the Tectonic Shock ready to go as well. Josiah has moved over onto the capacity to try and shut down Destin and Genos. All right, Tidal Blast in. The Sleep Dart connects. Oops, still does get hit with it though. And yeah, he is going to end up following its trade that comes through. But now actually one more for the side of Waterloo. And this overclock ready to go for Astro Darky, and we have quite a bit to kind of work with here. Oh, nice hinder there from the side of Josiah. Is going to shut down that Suffering Blade from Genos, trying to stay alive. Has a Kirko here to support him. Really loves to be able to take down Destin. The Doomfist doing so much damage. Oh yeah, nice patience. Not going to charge up that shot. Good shot onto Astro as well, and here we go. Finally, some stabilization coming through for the side of Trent, and I mean, not a moment too soon as that payload has moved 128 meters for the side of Waterloo. I have to say also that it's really nice for Trent that they didn't use all their ultimates there. You have the Tectonic Shock ready to go. You have the Teaming Rush as well. Which ult's gonna come out first here. Right now, if you're Trent, you need to start creating some momentum. You need to try and go first in this fight. It is going to be 3 ults from Trent, dumped all in response to that nano that came out. Genos does end up getting shut down for it though, so it is kind of worth it. You take down Astro Darky as well. Both DPS, ultimates, and a nano committed from the side of Waterloo. Not able to come out with that fight win. That being said though, all 3 ultimates that were available to Trent are now also gone. Tim Dice holding on to the lone ultimate in the lobby. This Tidal Blast, I mean, now we have to see it go over onto Genos because Destin is no longer on a mobile hero. Destin is on the Roadhog, looking for a hook to Trent know. Oh, what a nicely timed Susie there from Trash Star Baby. A little bit of panic pays off as you avoid that hook for now. Ooh, another hook going a little bit wide there. And now Josiah, now that you don't have this Doomfist that you have to constantly be worrying about trying to keep it in check, you're going to have a little bit more room to kind of work with here. Hook does connect for Destin, but Roadhog does end up getting taken down. So much damage coming through from the side of this Trent Excalibur team. There we go. Payload, or a bot has moved towards this checkpoint. This is going to trigger the forward spawns here from the side of Trent. And this is the momentum that they really needed. You got this payload moving, or this bot moving now. You have the Tidal Blast really built up. You'd like to play a little bit slow here to maybe try and build that quick because the Tidal Blast already ready to go. Oh, but you play a little bit too slow, and Oscar ends up getting hooked. Destin just taking punch after punch. Nice sweep start from Oof. The anti-nade as well. And the Genos on the Vendetta there to clean it up as well. Excellent teamwork on the side of Waterloo to come back through this. But, like I mentioned, those forward spawns did trigger for the side of Trent. So everybody's going to be able to get this forward spawn. Tidal Blast still ready to go here for Tim Dice and Scrammy. Now we have a Deadeye from Josiah as well. This is a nice little area to kind of use this Deadeye. It's a lot of space. You're really going to be able to kind of force your opponents back and into a very predictable area, which is going to be that long hallway kind of behind them. Piercing shot comes out. It is Tidal Blast out on to Genos. Oh, does get the hit on. We have the Deadeye happening on the side. Genos does end up paying, so it's a 1-for-1 trade here. A DPS gone from each team, but Hypothesis on the Doomfist is going to find another kill. Not done yet. Okay, now he's done. Destin is going to find a hook. Another shot here from Destin. Face down Trash Star Baby. And all right, Roadhog. You can check that off the list if you had Roadhog showing up in this match as well. Like I said, we're just trying to get all the tanks kind of crammed in. Surely get the Junker Queen next map. All right, Tectonic Shock ready to go. A hook from Destin. Oh, this Roadhog just hasn't missed. He's on fire now. The whole hog is ready to go. And it's another. Oh, no. Trent is just getting absolutely pulled apart. You're getting hooked by the Roadhog. You're getting slapped by Genos on this Vendetta. Lot to deal with right now, and these stagger kills are really going to work out well for the side of Waterloo. 4 ultimates on the board here. It's just that Tidal Blast that was committed. Tectonic Shock first from the side of Trent is good, but it is a response from Astro Darky on this Overclock. Both DPS actually very much respecting one another, not going to peek one another and try and have that, their last action to get the nano over on Genos once again. Ooh, nice shot onto Oscar, and it's looking pretty good here for Waterloo to push this the final little distance that they need. The team kill comes through. Opposite on the Doomfist will get the first touch here. The title, or the Deadeye is ready to go, and Josiah can find his way out, but yeah, it's all stagger kills, and the Deadeye does a whole lot of damage, but there's no follow-up to be had. All right, that is going to be Waterloo Warriors picking up their second map here, putting themselves at a match point here. Destined on the Doomfist, play the game. I mean, it could have been the Doomfist, it could have been the Roadhog, honestly. Both looking so fantastic for Destined here. Is that a 2-1? All right. Good stuff. All right. Well, this is it. Match point here, but I really do feel like Trent was having a good kind of comeback there. I think that, honestly, that Roadhog swap from Destined really did shut down the momentum that Trent were building, kind of that entire, second half, right? You get pushed all the way to your spawn door, you fight back, and then there's a Roadhog that is hitting hook after hook after hook. So, unfortunately for Trent, not able to adapt, and not able to adapt kind of fast enough, right? That was a really, really big first push from the side of Waterloo. Able to push at 128 meters in pretty much your first go. Yeah, it's hard to come back from that, but it was very, very close. Trent almost had it, so a chance now for them to bounce back here. Now, map number 4 does have to be a flashpoint map. So we have a ban come through, and then we'll have the map pick come out from the other 2, since, alas, there's only 3 flashpoint maps. Soon we will have more, I hope. All right, so it is the New Junk City ban coming out from the side of Waterloo. All right, well, if we're not going to New Junk City, I bet we can all guess where we are going to. It is, unfortunately, no love for Atlas. We're going to be going over to Saravasa for map number 4, and like I said, potentially the last one here. If Waterloo can lock in and close things out here, they're going to get their first week win. You'd love to start out the season with a win. Now, like I mentioned, these are Swiss stages. Actually, I would have to go back and check that because I know that Open is Swiss stage. This actually might not be. So this is the Challengers map, or Challengers division. So it's kind of in between Open and Premier. Premier, the best of the best, of course. Here we go, a little read through here. Okay, this is actually round robin format. So you know what? You still want to start with a win. I think that you definitely still want to at least try and get yourself out of the gate with the win. But not the end of the world, right? This is round robin. You're going to face off against every other team that is signed up in the Challenger division. So just getting your footing here. But so far, it has been a fantastic showing for both of these teams. Trent, Excalibur, a newcomer to CCL. I was so excited to see new universities signing up this semester. And then Waterloo, a returning team, had a fantastic run last semester. Didn't quite finish in that top 4, but really, really well played, and super excited to have them back as well. All right, we're on Saravasa for map number 4. The hero bands are coming in. And it is a Roadhog ban. Roadhog ban coming in from the side of Trent. Shocking. The hooks were nasty. They were pretty darn impressive, honestly. And I mean, especially Runosapi it's a long sightline map. Roadhog, if you're gonna play a Roadhog, usually you're gonna see that in kind of these more enclosed maps, right? You have an alternate fire, but you really do want to get up close and personal with the Roadhog. So being able to kind of find value like that, very impressive, for sure. So not gonna be able to find that same value now that we're over here on Saravasa, the Roadhog banned out. The Bastion ban in response from the side of Waterloo. Okay, so have we? No, I don't think we've seen any Bastion, but this is telling me that Waterloo want to play the Zarya composition, most likely. I have Destined move over onto the Zarya, probably have Genos over onto the Vendetta. That Bastion is very, very good at shredding Zarya. You just kind of wait for the bubble, or you just burn through the bubble. Honestly, you can just do that as long as you commit to the kill. This is not Rain encouraging you to charge up the Zaryas in your comp games. Your team will be very unhappy. But in a coordinated team environment like this, it's definitely an option. All right, Saravasa, map number 4. Let's get into it. All right.
Ready for battle.
Teams are thinking. There's some time here. Don't necessarily have to stick with the composition that you pick right away. You can troll me a little bit. That's okay. Lucio Kiriko backline making a showing here for the side of Trent. I definitely think that makes a whole lot of sense. Actually, you know what? I think the comp that Trent has is probably, okay, Josiah over on the Sojourn. A little bit more angle control here, but yep. Looks pretty good. Very reminiscent of what we saw on Lijiang Tower, and that worked out fantastic for them. All right, for the side of Waterloo, little TP out courtesy of Astro, that it is over on to this Freya. So it is going to be the Freya Vendetta DPS lineup once again. And Orisa here on the side of Waterloo. Not going to be that Zarya, but still going to be a lot of presence on the point here. All right, the Orisa comp is going to have a little bit more staying power on the point here. So now if you're Trent, you really want to try and find these splits in this team of Waterloo and really capitalize on them. Flashpoint has unlocked here. And that is going to be Destin setting himself up on the point. A little bit of a stall coming through from the Wrecking Ball. Astro, though, does end up taking out Oscar, who's kind of trying to get set up to go on the flank. And there it is. You're off the point for 1 second, and it's going to be the cap coming through. Genos gets knocked in. He's trying to make the best of it. He does manage to get out alive. This mobility of the Vendetta, absolutely incredible. as that is going to be the disengage coming through here for the side of Trent. Ooh, Genos, no, gets a little bit too aggressive, does end up paying for it, and I mean, that's a great disengage from the side of Trent, and now you're just going to try to go back in. The spear does connect from Death, he's going to shut down that slide, but it's not going to shut down that railgun. Tim Dice is going to fall. Oof, it's down as well, and it's not looking too good for Destin. No, Destin is gone as well, and well, I mean, just like that is a 4K for Josiah, bringing his team back into things. The flip comes over for the side of Trent. And yeah, look at the damage that's been done. Josiah already has this overclock ready to go. Hypothesis with the mines as well. 90% on both Tear Surge and this Nano is good for Waterloo to come back into things, though. Nope, you have it spotted out courtesy of that brand nice sleep dart from Oof does connect. But it's hard to kind of find the final limb onto the Wrecking Ball. Slam comes in. Tim Dice trying to stay alive here. This could be Genos coming back, trying to get into the field here. The mines all over the point. We're going to have the overclock committed as well. Josiah up onto the high ground. Ooh, finds the first shot as the Nano actually went over onto Tim Dice. We have the Terra Surge up and running as well. There's all that chaos. The flip does come through for the side of Waterloo. Numbers seem about even on the point here, so that's a good time for Trash Darby to pull out this Kitsune Rush. Tidal Blast as well coming through for the side of Waterloo. 97, 98%. It is overtime being triggered here. Waterloo got themselves set up on the point. Destin's taking down 2 as well as not looking like we are going to have a recontest here from the side of Trent. And no, that is going to be the first point cap. Going over to Market. Or going over to Waterloo. All right, Ruins, flashpoint number 2, Hypothesis making the swap over onto the Ramatra here. I think this is kind of needed if you're not able to really find these like these splits that you're trying to force onto Waterloo. You're not going to get a whole lot of value on that Wrecking Ball. So now you're on the Ramatra, you have more presence on the point, and you're going to be able to put a little bit more of a frontline pressure onto this Orisa. Already, we do have Bola coming in here. Nice, Suzu. Ooh, that's still a good little chunk of damage being done to Trapstar Baby, but they will be able to live through it. Hypothesis is going to take down Genos, who again got a little bit too aggressive on that Vendetta. You don't have the bubble to kind of follow up on things here. A lot of damage coming through from the angle, courtesy of Astro Darky, but now we actually have, the Sleep Dart onto the point. Oof, set up on this stairway, has a really nice angle down onto the point. I see you. But you don't have any feet on the point if you are Waterloo, so the point cap is going to go over to Trent to start things out. Nemesis form forced out early here. Hypothesis forced to retreat, but Josiah, the Sojourn, has the tanks back. Going to take down Destined, and I mean, that is definitely the trigger to back up here if you're Waterloo. Build up some ultimates here. You're going to have that Sundering Blade coming online, Terra Surge, and you are going to have this Tidal Blast as well. Scrappy has a lot of pressure riding on his shoulders right now to have a very, very impactful beat because there are some big ults coming up. You're not going to be able to get out of that Sundering Blade with the beat, but it will be fantastic for living through both the Tidal Blast or the Terra Surge, whichever one kind of comes your way. Both these DPS ultimates nearly ready to go for the side of Trent as well. Oscar has the Pulse Bomb. Looking for it. Eyes are on the Wu Yang. Pulse Bomb is in. Ooh, good chunk of damage, but not going to be enough to take down that Wu Yang. The Tidal Blast combo with that Terra Surge. We have the Bola actually committed as well as this overclock on the side from Trent. Okay, a little parting gift there onto Tim Dice. Overtime has triggered though, and just in time it is going to be Waterloo flipping over Ruins. 99% though, fantastic here for the side of Trent. You just gotta win one more fight and you'll be able to tie up Suramasa 1-1. And you have the Annihilation to work with. Alright, it is going to be the Sundering Blade out first. Looking, doesn't quite find anything though. Everybody from the side of Trent doing a great job just playing underneath in that house. And here's the go bus. Annihilation in. Tim Dice down. The Sleep Dart does connect. Great spear as well from the side of Destin. But seems the damage has already been done. Oscar is here to clean up everybody that fell victim to that Annihilation at the beginning of the fight. And with no speed on the map here, it just not look like Waterloo are going to be able to get a foot on that Ruins, and that is going to be Suramasa tied up 1-1 here. Next flashpoint, where are we going? Palace for the next one. So this is going to be a little bit of a spawn advantage for the side of Trent here. They are going to be just ever so much closer. And actually, looks like a positional advantage too. They are going to get themselves set up on the point first here. Trash Star BB as this Kitsune Rush ready to go. It's just a nano to try and match on the other side. He's forced out early here. Geno's getting a very aggressive, not quite going to find the Olymp though, and now he's out on an island. Is not going to be able to live through that. Excellent punish from the side of Trent University, recognizing when that Vendetta has run out of cooldowns. You can see that everybody from the side of Waterloo have kind of got themselves set up on this high ground, which means there's kind of a pinch coming in through now. Still, the pulse bomb does stick onto the Orisa, does a lot of damage to the disruptor field though. Josiah popping off again on the soldier. Love to see it in the kill feed. Early percent building here for the side of Trent University. Waterloo are coming back into this. Lots to work with though. This Bola gonna have another Terra Surge ready to go. The Nano from Oof still available as well. Potentially just see that go over onto Genos. Go for that aggression. Ooh, nice take aim here from Astro Darky. That's opened things up. You take down the big damage dealer from the side of Trent. Trent's forced to get this Kitsune Rush. You lose Scrammy as well. And damage coming through. Oof, nearly falling, but the Tidal Blast is keeping him alive at least for now. Doesn't connect on anyone, but Dragana will stay alive in the fight. And I got a little melee onto Trash Star Baby there. 73% on the board though for Trent. It's a good first cap. Not quite like one fight. It's very close though. If they're able to take, if Trent is able to take this back, it's probably gonna be like one and then like a scrappy fight. But pushing into this is no small task because this Bola shot's still ready to go. Terra Surge and Nano still ready to go. As speed is Josiah opening things up. You're immediately met with a Nano Vendetta though. Yeah, not much you can do in the face of that. That overclock absolutely shut down the Bola. Does a whole chunk of damage as well. Taking down two there for Trent and Oscar. Yeah, gonna go for a swim, get the reset here because now we're looking at one more clean fight here for the side of Trent. Just missed it by that much. Annihilation though, ready to go here for Hypothesis is huge. It's gonna have to be a Sleep Dart from Oof and an anti-nade and maybe a Terra Surge to try and counter this. Big spear in, nice tease here from Scram, does connect on to 3. The Annihilation on the point, the Sundering Flame takes out Josiah. Hey, let's throw in the Terra Surge for good measure as well. The spin going to take down Hypothesis. That Annihilation is are finding any kills there and 99% overtime is gone. Team kill comes through as that is going to be Waterloo setting themselves at a map and a series point here. If they're able to capture up Garden, they will take a win here in the first 3. It was a big ult commitment from both sides. The Pulse Bomb still ready, or the only ult's ready to go here. Love to be able to take down Genos on this Vendetta, but yeah, you gotta be really careful. You don't want to pay for it with your life. You're quick, but the Vendetta will be really quick to get back into this fight as well, so it's not a great one-for-one trade. Alright, little skirmish happening over on the side here, but we do have a Bola that has been built up here for the side of Waterloo. Pulse Bomb stick onto the Orisa. Fantastic target here. We need a response from the side of Waterloo. It's gonna be that Bola shot. Thanks. Traded out here. It's all down to the DPS and the support to try and figure out who's gonna take the flame over this point. Tim Dice forced to actually use that Tidal Blast on himself just to stay alive. A lot of pressure coming out from Oscar there, but it's worth it for the side of Waterloo. They will at least take the point. Destin just swapping over onto the Wrecking Ball as well. So off of that Orisa. Looking to cause a little bit of chaos here. The pile drives, that moment of CC comboed with either a take aim from Astro or one of those, just a primary fire, honestly, from Genos could make all the difference. Oscar has moved over onto Echo as well. Oh, Genos, yeah, bit off more than he could chew. Does end up falling. Trash Star Baby does get taken down, though. That's like a Kitsune Rush now out of the fight here for the side of Trent University, but they want to take this fight on the point. Nano available to go here from Oof. Sleep Dart not quite gonna connect. What the headshot is? Oh, we love the headshot perk. All right, as Oof is gonna end up getting taken down there. Just wanted to get this one. Why do I say that? Oof actually taking down Oscar there. To be honest, still alive and well. Nano in the back pocket as well. 80%. There is one more fight here for the side of Trent to try and come back into this, try to flip this over, keep themselves alive, not only in this map, but also in this series. So it's big anti-gate in, doesn't quite connect though. Beat goes in, it connects onto 4 on the point. Genos has this Nano, the Vendetta looking for some kills, is gonna find one, the Summering Blade ready to go as well. Looking at Hypothesis, so much damage being chunked through. Oh, Josiah not gonna be able to find anything with that overclock, and that is it. Overtime trickles away. It is going to be Waterloo picking up Surabasa and picking up the series 3-1. GG's all around. I mean, it definitely, you know, Waterloo definitely picked up steam here between push and Flashpoint. Really kept the momentum going here, but so fun to see the plays coming through from the side of Trent. Definitely think that this is a team to watch out for here in the Challengers division. So GG's to Trent, unfortunately not picking up this win, but a lot of really solid coordination between this team and a lot of flexibility from this team as well. Hypothesis played so many different tanks. I mean, I have to shout out Destin because Destin also played so many tanks. Honestly, I'm so impressed with the variety of compositions that we got to see across the 4 maps here. It was so fun to cast, and yeah, so fun to get to see all of the chaos that ensues. So GG's to both teams. Congratulations, of course. Waterloo starting out their series with a victory. Definitely feels good in the round robin stage of the Challengers division of CCL. Fortunately, that is all that I have for you tonight. So once again, thank you so much for showing up and supporting the Canadian Collegiate League. And thank you so much to Trent, Excalibur, and Waterloo Warriors who did agree to let me co-stream this game. I am so appreciative of it. If you want your CCL match to be co-streamed and you are not playing it on the default day, because I will probably be casting on CCL for the default day of Wednesday. If it gets rescheduled, please put it in the reschedule channel. If it works with my schedule, I will definitely reach out to you. I would love to co-stream more of these CCL matches. So thanks so much to everybody for showing up. I hope that you all enjoyed it, and we will see you next time for some CCL action.